Hello everyone, my name is Łukasz Malinowski, the Internet of Things advisor and trainer. And typically I work with cloud resources and I always say that is very easy. If I mess something up, I can always destroy my resources, recreate them and repeat the cycle until I figure out what's wrong and how to make it right. But can we take the same approach with hardware? Because hardware is not that easy in terms of getting it right from the first place, but we cannot just simply destroy our resources over and over again. Hopefully, we can try to answer that question during our today meeting because we've got Petr Dvořák, who is the expert in the hardware design area. Hello, Petr. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, Luca. Thank you for having me. And I'm looking forward for today's session.
So maybe let's start with your personal journey. So how have you started the hardware design? What got you into that? And how you started from the very early age and now became the professional in this space?
Yeah, I was attracted with electronics from the age of 12, I think. And after that, I decided to study like industrial school in Czech Republic, as we call, with electronics and automation and similar things. After that, I continue on the university, and I graduated in 2007. And after that, I spent years in multiple companies, from American corporate to small Czech family company. And 6 years ago, I decided that I didn't want to work for a company anymore, and I quit the last job and started offering hardware design services online and to start to be a freelancer. So I need to mention that just before that, I found two customers I started working for, and then I can quit because I had two customers already. So yeah, and why two customers? We in Czech Republic, freelancers in Czech Republic need to have at least two customers at a time to avoid some some issues with tax, because freelancers has lower tax burden, and to avoid employees transform into freelancers with lower taxes, there are some rules. So I needed to have two customers at a time.
So those legal constraints are yet another challenge on your journey. But you said that you've got like formal education in electronics, then you've got the real experience doing the commercial projects as an employee and now as freelancer. So what would you define as the main skill for someone that would like to become the hardware designer? So on what kind of skills they should focus on from the very beginning?
Yeah. I think the electrical and electronics industry is about the constant learning. So I think the crucial aspect of a successful hardware design engineer or designer, or somehow we can call it, is the ability to learn. I think it's most important. The second important skill for the freelancer, especially for freelancer, is the willingness to accept sometimes unpleasant feedback from customer. Why sometimes unpleasant? Because when working remotely, you need to constantly align the customer expectations with your target goals. And sometimes those two things don't hit together. So sometimes you design something that the customer at the end don't want or doesn't want. So yeah, you need to constantly reassure that you are going on the right track. And sometimes, especially for customers without previous experience with hardware design, their expectations can be different at the end of the project from the expectations at the beginning of the project. So you need to constantly realign and to be prepared for, as I said, unpleasant feedback, because yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
like it is.
so what I understand from what you're saying is that the so-called soft skills are the most important, right? Because the hard skills like the hardware design or some technical background, like this is mandatory, but without those soft skills and being able to work with customers, like it is very hard to succeed on the market, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because at the end, you can design anything on your own, and you can test it, you can verify it, you can iterate until it works. But the communication, the cooperation with customer, the looking for customers to everything from the beginning to the paid invoice is about soft skills. Yeah, when I don't speak about hardware design.
Yeah. So speaking about that iterative approach, as you mentioned, because this is something that is very effective, at least when we work with virtual resources, like on the cloud side. Like I can easily create as many resources as I need to and destroy them in a second, basically. So how could you implement the iterative approach to the hardware design? Because from my perspective, hardware design is closely connected with the hardware, and hardware is something that is not as virtual as cloud resources. So yeah, what's your take on that?
Yeah. The typical, I think, design plus manufacturing loop takes about a month. So to make it shorter, you need to divide the project into smaller pieces and to work on them separately, and to test them, to verify them, to use all possible things like breadboards to test it, to simulations in the computer. And at the end, when everything is prepared and you are ready to work on your schematics, to prepare the PCB layout and to let the board to be manufactured, my advice is to not hesitate and to put it into production, to make a prototype, to test it. If it will work correctly, perfect. If not, make another revision. Sometimes people hesitate and test it everything 100 times and looking for advices and looking on the internet and asking questions all the way around the clock and waiting months and even months. My advice is go for it, let it manufacture, test it, fail fast, fail often. This is my only advice, because only non-manufactured design works perfectly, but only prototypes can be tested. So work on it, fail fast.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you advise people not to be afraid that what they design won't work, right? After the hardware prototype, because
Exactly.
as you said, there are only certain things that we can predict ourselves and simulate, and to be sure that it will work or not, you need to take that risk to manufacture, and this is, I believe, a huge difference between the hardware designers and the cloud architects. That for me, it's way easier, cheaper, and faster to fail fast. And for you need to wait for that cycle. We've got a question from Brandon regarding how you find your clients. Do you want to take it now, or should we leave it on the end of our meeting?
Yeah, we can make a short crossing to the Brandon's question. How can I find for a new customers? I'm using the LinkedIn social network. I'm quite active member on the LinkedIn, and I publish daily posts about my work, about what I do, about information for my followers. Because let's say almost half of my followers are at junior positions or definitely less than senior. So I try to educate sometimes somehow with a limited way, because I'm not an expert. So yeah, whenever I found something interesting, which makes me clever, more clever or smarter, or how to say, I publish it a few days later, because I think if something helped me, it can help another people as well. So this is my way, and yeah, this is what I do.
Perfect. So basically, you are not afraid to share your insights and your knowledge with rest of the community. And
Yeah.
this is actually a common pattern that I found among the professionals that I respect most. That they do not they are not afraid to share their knowledge and to help junior people, because they understand their value, right? And you spend a number of years practicing your craft. So you know that if you share your best insights, those junior people cannot overcome you, because there is no algorithm to compress experience, right?
Mhm.
And
Sure.
mm,
100%. I would like to add only one thing. Speaking of the knowledge and information, yeah, look, those information I found in books and on the internet are not mine. I only found them. And what was the point to keep them in secret in my brain or in my notepad? Yeah, look, I'm 42 or years old now, and I will die. For example, not for example. I hope later than in 10 years, but it can happen. So why to keep secret?
yeah, I love
It
that
makes
approach.
no sense.
And that's why I also try to share my best insights with the community, because you need to start somewhere. And when I started and when you started, for sure, that those expert level insights were not that easily available, right? And we had to basically learn the hard way. And I, for sure, learned the wrong way most of the time, unfortunately. Okay, let's go back to the Brandon, because he's got one question regarding the customers, and then I would like us to go back to the design part. But yeah, how much time do you spend finding out the customers versus designing, so doing the actual work?
The time needed for writing my LinkedIn post is about 4 hours a week. So this is the majority of time I find for new customers, and then the basic communication through LinkedIn messages takes much less during the week. So I have a number of 200 hours a year of making my personal brand, and this is how I look for new customers. So yeah, this is how I and how long I work for. I look for the new customers, or yeah, the way how I attract them, and the rest is the hardware design work. Yeah, and the
Perfect.
rest is about I don't know, 6 hours a day, because 8 hours a day of focused work is almost nonsense for me. 6 to 7 hours at the top of really focused work, without any coffees, without commuting, without chit chat in around the kitchen, in like in companies. No chit chat, no coffees, not chatting. Focused work, 6 hours at max, and I'm
Yeah.
dead after 6 hours.
Totally. Okay, let's go back to the design part. And what are the current trends in the hardware design that you observe on the market? And which of those trends, in your opinion, can succeed in a long time and be production ready, and which are just a buzz that we see daily that won't go into production anyways?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the edge devices, in my opinion, edge devices these days, because nowadays microcontrollers have become such a powerful, and those microcontrollers can work on the really difficult and complex tasks involving AI, machine learning, and every other popular and sometimes buzzwords. But yeah, edge devices, and those devices usually are really fast and needs high-speed designs. So such are things. And about the future, I think it is a future, because everything gets smaller and smaller. Miniaturization is going forward and forward. So devices are powerful and powerful. Look, the new Apple devices, the new M3 silicon for desktops and MacBooks, and the new iPhone 15 Pro processor is produced in a 3 nanometer technology. So it's crazy. If you would said somebody that we produce such a silicon in 3 nanometers a few days ago, he didn't believe you. So yeah, miniaturization, edge devices. This is, I think, the trend in hardware design.
Okay. And demilitarization, in my opinion, like force us to find some support for the manual design, right? And so, what's your take on the AI supported design? Does it work, or we are not there yet? Because I played with AI to manage the cloud infrastructure, and my personal opinion is that the AI is not ready to be actually used in a production, because it will create some resources that even might work, but that setup won't be secure enough, won't scale and whatnot, right? So taking that to the hardware domain, do you think that the AI is ready to really help you in your daily job to design those systems, or maybe to simulate the designs that you've done yourself? So how can you leverage AI, or there is not a good solution at this stage yet?
Thank you for the question. I think AI is here for a very long time, and since last November, I think, so almost a year, or maybe more than a year, I don't know, when the ChatGPT version 3 was released, it changed the world. And since then, I have used it and I loved it. ChatGPT is my daily companion. It's not flawless, of course, but it's you can take it as a just educated engineer that is willing to help you all the time. You can ask him, you can talk with it, you can discuss with it, you can verify your thoughts, you can ask for it for everything, and you can get answer. I use it, for example, for small peer reviews. For example, I study the datasheet of a new component. I'm not sure if I can connect those ports to another device. So I asked ChatGPT after quite long introduction, because you need to talk with it. It's not Google. It's a textual model. So I ask ChatGPT, hey, can I use it this way? And it replies something. If it's aligned with my ideas and my knowledge, okay, it's confirmed and I'm good to go. If it's against my knowledge and my information I gained, yeah, I reconsider what I learned, because there might be something that I miss. So it's a great companion and love it. And I used other tools for correcting my language on the internet, for preparing some pictures. Yeah, the usual tools. I'm really eager to use AI cooperated ECAT or something like this. I didn't find a good one yet, but I think in maybe months, I think even months, maybe in years, but in 1 or 2 years, I think we can get on the market the AI assisted ECAT. I think Siemens work on something, Cadence, Altium Designer, probably. My KiCad not, but yeah, I don't want to miss the AI train already going really fast. So I'm 42. I'm not so old yet, and I think AI will not steal my job. The
Okay.
engineer strongly using AI can steal my job, and I won't stand won't waiting for my job to be stolen. So I work hard for on it, and you
Okay.
you should as well.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, but I'm actually also very with what Brandon just asked. So, are you not concerned about the accuracy of that information? Because personally, I am concerned. Like for the area that I know what to expect, I often get out of Chat GPT a bit misleading outputs, right? And those are slight nuances that I know are wrong, but are very hard for other people to spot. So you said that you use like the conversation, so you feed chat with tons of data, so it can respond correctly. But still, like, are you not concerned with the overall accuracy? Like, would you trust it on something that you cannot verify yourself, for instance, right? There is something that you have no domain knowledge about, and you need to uh, do that stuff for the customer, and you ask ChatGPT, and chat will give you some answer. Would you implement that answer like blindly, or you would still hesitate?
No, I should, and I have to double check everything, every important information I need to get from the ChatGPT. I need to double check it. It's a part of the workflow, of course.
Cool.
Uh, for example, when I asked ChatGPT to help me writing a post or a text or an offer for a prospective customer, yeah, it helped me a lot. It uses perfect language, and I can change a few sentences. I can change a few details, and I can use it as is. Or if I use it, yeah, the similar way. But if I work on a really like technical and design wise things, I need to double check it, and I use it as a peer, as a companion, as a yeah as a peer engineer sitting next to me in the office. And you can ask your manager in the office, you can ask your colleague in the office, and do you believe your your colleague 100%, or you are concerned with the accuracy of their information? You cannot believe no one. So why to make the ChatGPT less trustworthy than your colleague?
I think that's a fair point. Speaking about tools, because you mentioned a few, what are the tools that you use daily, like for your design work? And if someone is just starting or they consider uh, to start being the hardware designer, which tools would you recommend for them as the entry point?
Yeah, yeah. I will start with the probably quite common tools, but yeah, web browser, of course. It's the most important thing tool you can use, a notepad or a similar tool. And the third things for hardware design is at least the simplest tool allowing you to capture schematics and to prepare PCB layouts.
Mhm.
We as a people sometimes look for the perfect tool, and after we find the perfect tool, we believe that we can start. We can't be far from the truth. We sometimes need only pencil, paper, and the as you can keep it on your on the stool. So yeah, I'm using KiCad. Its abilities are far above my limits. So the KiCad even the tool is quite simple in the eyes of some engineers, it doesn't limit me, and my limits are well below. So I think don't look for a perfect tool, don't look for some expensive tools, and start doing and start learning by doing. So
Mhm.
web browser, something that can keep your notes, and at least simple ECAT tool. I recommend KiCad 100% because it's perfect in my eyes.
All right. So basically, do not look for excuses that you don't have proper tools. So in that case, you cannot start. Just start with pen and pencil. And I love that suggestion because then you have nowhere to hide and no one to blame, right? So you should start definitely with pen and pencil, like the old school way, because then you know what you're doing and you know what you do not know, right? Because if some tool assists you, then you might have that false belief that you know what you're
Yeah,
doing, but actually you won't. So I
yeah,
think that is great,
yeah, yeah.
great advice.
I would add one thing to that. Nowadays, the designs, the new components, the systems, everything is very complex, and the manufacturers of those components are trying to help us. So they provide us with reference designs, application notes, structured and well-detailed data sheets, sometimes with flaws, of course, but who is flawless? So I think my first tool I advised is web browser. It can sound funny, but with your web browser, you can find so much information on the websites of manufacturers that you would be surprised. For example, Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments website is definitely full of gold. Their application notes, their videos, their seminars, their webinars, their everything. You can spend thousands of hours of learning only with your web browser for free. You can study for free. And the Texas Instruments is a huge manufacturer of components. You can find almost everything in their portfolio, and they help us. The Texas Instruments company helps us, like, I don't know how word I can use, but it's a great.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah. So
don't
so
don't try to my advice. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Look for the reference designs. Look for application notes. Adapt. Uh, Prepare prototype. Fail fast. Iterate. Correct. Fail fast. This is the way.
okay. So basically, do not aim for perfection, at least from the very first time. Just aim for the process and for learning and constant improvement.
Yeah, everyone wants first time right designs. It's the best things you can get. Yeah, the first time working design, but sometimes the first time right working design is very expensive.
Okay. So what you're saying is that it's cheaper, even from the customer perspective, to iterate fast, fail fast, and achieve the working solution instead of hitting for the perfection from the very beginning, because that would cost more time and money to get there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
I,
a it's a it's a yeah. It's hard to say to the eyes of my customer that we will fail. Yeah, of course it's nonsense. I always aim to first time right designs, but the perfection, the 100 perfection is nonsense and is killing the designs. I think 80% or 90%. Yeah, if 80 is less for you, is too low for you, is enough. And yeah, sometimes I wait weeks for the reviews by the customer, and yeah, we are looking for the perfection, but in the meantime there can be even second revision, maybe third.
exactly. Yeah. I think that is great advice. and it basically shows that you've got the hands-on experience, right? You actually know what you're talking about because you're doing that day in and day out. So my last question to you, because you said that LinkedIn is the best way to find you. If you would to summarize what you offer to your customers and how they can reach out to you, and then we're going to wrap up.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Very briefly, I am the freelancing hardware design engineer, as you said, and as I tried to explain myself. I offer customer design for electronics and IoT devices and yeah, basically everything. I don't do everything, but we can talk about everything, and I can say, oh, this is too difficult for me, or I'm not expert in this area, or I can recommend that person or this one, or yeah, but we can talk everything. Hardware designs, my top priority service. Hardware reviews, my second priority service. What's hardware review? Hardware review is a peer service for people like me. We all make the same mistakes, and we can't see them. This is the issue of the mistakes. We can't see our own mistakes, and I'm here to provide a peer review for a very reasonable price, and I put another pair of eyes to your designs, and I can see your mistakes because those mistakes are not mine, and I can see them. So this is the service I provide my customers, hardware design. And the third service or third area I provide my customers is things or products under the Benny Devices project. I call them hardware design templates. Hardware design templates is a very simple template for your ECAD, preferably KiCad or Altium Designer, and it focused on using when you are designing something and you use a new enclosure for your design. There are many areas you can make mistake. Position of mounting holes, dimensions, shapes, everything. And I prepared many templates for most popular enclosures on the market. You can buy such a template for a price of a coffee, and you are 100% sure that there can be mistake in your design, but not in the shape of the PCB. And the PCB will fit the enclosure perfectly first time. So hardware design, hardware reviews, and hardware design templates for the most popular enclosures on the market. This is what I do.
Perfect.
People can reach me on the LinkedIn. Thank you very much for the address you placed on the screen. This is where I accept quotations and where I am active. So feel free to follow me. Maybe you can find interesting information in my daily posts, and we will see. You can become my customer in the future or not. It's up to you.
Perfect. Once again, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for the very honest discussion. I would huge respect for professionals like you that are not afraid to openly share that we all do mistakes, we all learn, and we share our best practices with the community. So once again, thank you very much, and hopefully we will stay in touch for the future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lukáš. Thank you for having me. It was a very pleasant time, and I was happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. That's all for today, and we'll see each other on the internet. Bye-bye.